Good morning from the Tungsten Hills outside of Bishop, California. It's April 26th, 2018. Julie and I are going to try to go to the Tungsten Peak today. These are just the small hills right outside of Bishop. Today's hike is about 2 miles round trip and about 1,200 feet of elevation gain. So we're kind of staying close to home today. It's going to be a hot one. We didn't want to get too long a hike, so we're just doing a short one. And let's go see what we find. So right out of the gates you can see, after you leave the parking lot, it starts climbing pretty steadily up this bouldery dry wash. Well, you get towards the top of this first little bouldery wash here and you come to kind of a corridor here. It's only about 25 feet wide. With boulders on either side. Well, that's looking behind us. The trail picks up right here. I think we're supposed to make a left here. So you would think the trail would go up this way because it looks like there's a trail there. Although they have some rocks blocking the way there and steering you to the left. So I think we're supposed to take a left here and try to get up this next hillside, which is over here. We're looking out now over a mill pond. I think it's a campground, and this is back at the parking lot where our car, and there's a fire truck down there for some reason. They pulled up shortly after we left. We're headed this way. The peak looks like it's going to be over there. And we're getting a view of the Sierra. Starting to. I think we're going to have more coming up. It flattens out a little bit here for a minute. We're kind of following up this ridge. Well, the trail is pretty nice. It reminds us very much of the Sandia Mountains outside of Albuquerque. They got a lot of this rubbly granite, and there's a lack of cacti, which you have in the Sandias and you don't have here. But the rock formations and just the way the trail is, it seems a lot like the Sandia Mountains, which we both really like. We're getting nearer the peak and the trail is steepening a little. Not bad though, it's a nice trail. Pretty easy to follow, kind of fun. It's all the sandy, rubbly stuff and pretty scenic. And we should have good views from the top up here of all the eastern Sierra. Well, there are a pair of birds circling up here. One is a raven. The other one I thought was a vulture, but now that I see it, it's not. It's something different. That's looking over at the White Mountains. They're starting to lose all their snow. We're headed this way. Should be getting close. Here we are up at the summit of Tungsten Peak. Took us just under an hour to get up here. It's a fairly steady climb. I believe it's 1,200 and some feet. I can give you the exact number in a minute. So looking over here, you have Mount Tom, Basin Mountain, Humphrey, Lockheed, and I don't know the rest. Then that's looking up towards Sabrina Lake, and further down the Sierra. We spent a little time on the peak, had a little snack, and now we're going to say goodbye to Tungsten Peak. Work our way back down. Took us a little less than an hour to get up there. 1,260 feet of vertical gain and about 1.2 miles, is that right? So, not too bad. It's a steep little guy. Anything over 1,000 feet in a mile I always consider, you know, getting into the steeper range of hiking trails. Here's the town of Bishop, where all the green trees are. And this is a little mill pond again. The Owens Gorge is what you see out there if you can make it out. Popular climbing area when you get a little bit up this way. The Owens River carves out a pretty nice gorge there. A lot of sport climbing going on there, all bolted up, hundreds of routes. We're still making our way down the hill. That's looking back up towards the peak. We're in this kind of narrows area. Interesting little formations in here. Wind is starting to kick up. Almost back down to the trailhead. There goes Julie. Oh, we're back at the trailhead here. It was a fun little hike. That's looking off the way you the parking lot to make the peak. This is the parking lot. So the hike today was 2.6 miles.
Yep.
It took us about an hour and a half. We fooled around the top a little bit, and the total elevation gained was about 1,260 feet. So it's a fun little hike if you've got a couple hours to kill and got nothing to do around Bishop, California. You get some nice views up there at the top. And so anyway, we appreciate you watching, and as always, happy hiking.